Welcome back to the Charismatic Voice. I heard Ian Gillan for the first time just about a month ago singing Child in Time with Deep Purple. And his voice is heavenly. It's gorgeous, it's ethereal, it's unreal. I want to hear a lot more of it, which is convenient because a bunch of you want to hear more of Ian Gillan on the channel as well. So today we're going to be taking a listen to When a Blind Man Cries. Already those lyrics definitely evoke a lot of emotion. This song was also written by Deep Purple, but it was not performed live ever with Ritchie Blackmore. That's because Ritchie didn't really like the song. So even though Ian Gillan did perform it a lot in his career, it was never with Ritchie. And without further ado, let's get to it.
That was a song called I Don't Know, which I wrote with Roger a couple of years ago, before I was bloody fired. And here's one I wrote a long time ago. It's one of my favourite Deep Purple songs. It's called When a Blind Man Cries.
I'm going to pause and talk briefly about this instrumental intro. I like the way everything feels kind of bright in tone, right? The synth choice is bright. Even you have cymbals, which are bright, so they're showing higher frequencies overall in that, if you were to look at visualization of a frequency spectrum. And just wanted to briefly talk about piano playing here. So I think it's so fun when I see pianists that have like good technique, and then every now and then they're like, "Oh, let's give a little shoulder expression," which is what he's doing here. Normally, when you're playing piano, you don't have like tons of shoulders that are up here, right? I've definitely had lots of students where I'm like, "Okay, calm those shoulders down." But every now and then, it's kind of nice to see a person lean their body into the piano a little bit, or to the keyboard in this case. And that's definitely what he's doing. And I think it's really cute. Every now and then it seems like he's got like one shoulder that might be a little more expressive than the other, kind of like I have one eyebrow that I think is more expressive than the other. So anyhow, shoulder playing for the win.
If you're leaving, close the door. I'm not expecting people anymore. Hear me grieving, lying on the floor. Whether I'm drunk or dead, I'm really not too sure.
Wow.
I'm a blind man. I'm a blind man. And my world is pain. When a blind man cries, Lord, you know there ain't a sanitary.
Okay. That's awesome. It's so interesting to hear him on this versus Child in Time. I think in Child in Time, especially that like high floating falsetto felt so pure, and this to me feels so like pained in a lot of ways. But at the same time, I think he's making these really pained sounds with a really open throat. It sounds like the air is flowing nicely. The pain isn't coming from constriction in his throat. It sounds very nicely open and flowing, if you will. I want to go back to his entrance here. There were a bunch of really cool things. Oh, hold on.
If you're leaving.
Okay, right there at the very beginning, he did this thing where I call it catching the wave of air, essentially. When you take a breath in and you start singing, you don't want to take a breath in, hold it, and then start singing, because the glottis will actually close very often unless you have very good control of it, which is possible to obtain. But most people, they'll essentially breathe and then close it off and have to reopen it to start singing again. And you hear the way he catches the top of the air and starts singing right away. It's lovely.
If you're leaving, close the door.
Wow.
I'm not expecting people anymore. Hear me grieving, lying on the floor. Whether I'm drunk or dead, I'm really not too sure.
I appreciate that when he's going up into the top as well, he's focusing the sound with he has a really nice sound in that like lower high area, and that breadth of sound, if he took that whole thing up, would not have as much clarity. It would start to feel a little unstable, and it would definitely cap out on how high you could take it. And instead, he really focuses the sound, which is a great technique to do. It definitely keeps a healthier voice for a longer time.
Whether I'm drunk or dead, I'm really not too sure. I'm a blind man. I'm a blind man. And my world is pain. When a blind man cries, Lord, you know.
I love the way that he is riffing on this Lord. Lord, you can really hear that he's going through a bunch of different vowels in there. But he's also putting little cries on the voice. It's just really good. It feels extremely emotional and instinctive for him too.
When a blind man cries, Lord, you know.
Oh. So first you have he goes towards almost an ah at the end, starts from an O vowel and migrates towards that as he's going through it.
Cries, Lord, you know.
It's cool.
A sanitary.
I'm not sure if that's Sweat or if that's Tears. This is an incredibly sad song. I'm curious if that is Tears. In addition, I would really like to know who the guitarist is. No, it's not Ritchie Blackmore, but I don't know who it is. So if you guys know that, please write that in the comments below. It wasn't something I could find online. I'm not as well versed in guitar and guitarists, so I would like to give credit though, where credit is due. So please let us know in those comments who this guitarist is.
Had a good time, but it ended much too soon. In a cold month, in that room, I found a reason for the things we had to do. I'm a blind man. I'm a blind man. Now my room is cold. When a blind man cries, Lord, you know, he feels it from his soul.
Wow. Wow. It's just so heartfelt. I like the way his voice, it does seem to have some sort of weeping in it. And it's hard to put my finger on what it is exactly about how he's singing that makes me feel, but it really is captivating me. I'm trying to understand it more and more. I think it definitely is partly air usage. I think that air is so connected to emotion. And sometimes, if you just think about your breath as being a facet of conducting emotion, that's a really good way to imbue your song with more message. But there's so many things that are just great in it. Whew. I want to hear it again.
I had a friend once in a room, had a good time, but it ended much too soon.
There's like a little bit of Phil Collins in his voice sometimes. I'm digging the way that he cuts off. It's very clean. It is very purposeful in timing. And a lot of times when people approach a cutoff, you'll hear the voice lose energy, or they'll send it all the way through past the cutoff, which can be very good, and get a shadow vowel, essentially like if I were saying room, the that you hear after the M, room, that's considered a shadow vowel. And he is really deliberate about cutting very cleanly on room, and he takes the energy straight through to the very end of the M, but doesn't get a shadow vowel on it. And it's very precise. It's nice. Let's go back a little bit here.
Had a good time, but it ended much too soon.
Same thing with soon.
In a cold month, in that room, I found a reason for the things we had to do. I'm a blind man. I'm a blind man. Now my room is cold. When a blind man cries, Lord, you know, he feels it from his soul.
I just love the way he riffs on like look at his mouth shape. You can really tell that he's going through different ones. Instead of saying oh Lord, which would be like very vowels the whole time. He's just going through all of them, because ultimately, like the reason for singing is expression, and sometimes that expression needs to be contained in not just one vowel.
When a blind man cries, Lord, you know, he feels it from his soul.
man, the guitar was like detuning itself some in there. Like he was going like between steps. Oh, and when I hear that, it always makes me shudder a little bit. It was crazy how he worked it into this solo though. Very intentional. Oh. Okay, that makes me cringe, but I somehow want to hear it again. Oh dear.
I'm a blind man. I'm a blind man. Now my room is cold. When a blind man cries, Lord, you know he feels it from his soul.
What?
When a blind man cries, Lord, you know he feels.
Ooh! Like, wow!
When a blind man cries, Lord.
What is that now? Oh my goodness. So to get to that note, he's doing an octave and a half jump. And the rest of the song, he's been in this same area. It's that was just so unexpected. And he pulled it off like it was easy. So to when your voice sits in one area for a long time, sometimes it needs a little bit of convincing to go into another area. But I believe that sounded like it was still full. Like he hadn't flipped into falsetto for that. And that's an F sharp. That is an F sharp 5 for those of you who really like numbers. FYI, there are different systems and numbers for naming things. Sometimes you'll encounter different things on the internet, but I think what I've found in most reaction communities is that we start with, this note is an F sharp 5, according to most of your understanding. So that's what we're going to call it. So anyhow, getting an F sharp 5 like this is insane. Like, first of all, that it's still full voice. That's insane. The amount of and nasty, like he has like so much focus on that note still. And then that he did it straight from right after sitting in an area that's an octave and a half below. That's the other part that blows my mind because the voice has been hanging out down there the whole time. Normally the voice wouldn't be ready to just like jump up and go do that. Whoa, that is shocking. That is shocking. And that means he has to have that note ready at like all times. Oof.
Now my room is cold. When a blind man cries, Lord, you know he feels it from his soul.
Whoa, is he holding that note really softly up for a really long time? I think that's what's happening.
From his soul.
Yeah, I think he was continuing to hold that. Beautiful. Whoa. It's just insane to me the way he had that huge jump at the end. Crazy. He even had like a fun slide up at one point. Man, he's a talented vocalist. I love that he's very communicative of emotion. And it seems like his focus is really getting that emotion and message across. And then he's got talent in spades, and probably a lot of dedication too, to have that kind of note available at the drop of a hat. It's different to hear this versus Child in Time, where he had that like very haunting falsetto moment. And think about that same voice having sung this. I don't know, I would have thought it was the same voice initially if I didn't know. And it's just, yeah, it's very, this is my first dip into Ian Gillan, you have to understand. So hearing this huge range, but hearing that he's mostly focusing on getting words and message across in sort of like a much more limited range, it's a shock to me and a delight, and I want to explore it more and more. Thank you to everyone that recommended this video. I wanted to listen to more Ian Gillan, and you guys really provided a great example of something that was different and fantastic. I think everybody's going to be waiting for that high note moment that I had no idea was coming and just about lost my jaw. It was really cool. It was a great moment. All right. You guys can come and find me here on YouTube every Monday, Tuesday, and Friday at 8 a.m. Arizona time. You can also find us on Patreon, and you can find me at thecharismaticvoice.com, where you can take classes on music and appreciating music in general, and also on singing. I hope to see you somewhere soon. Thanks.